Next speaker is Dr. Rajesh.
Here,
We'll
case
speak
of
from
sialic acid storage disease, its challenges and anesthetic implications. Coming to the introduction, inborn errors of metabolism comprise a diverse range of uncommon illnesses, most of which affects body's capacity to metabolize food into energy. They mainly affect cellular housekeeping proteins, which may cause buildup of substrates. These are estimated to be more than 50 hereditary lysosomal storage diseases, increasing the chance that an anesthesiology provider may meet one of these very uncommon diseases with 1 in 8,000 incidences, very less. And these are caused by lysosomal dysfunction and result in buildup of glycoproteins, lipids, and glycosaminoglycans inside cells due to the inability of faulty lysosomal enzyme to break them down. The different diseases provide unique challenges for anesthesiologists due to their limited prevalence, and we present a preoperative management of one such rare case of cellular disease. Coming to the case presentation, a 13-year-old male patient presented to the orthopedic hospital with leg pain after sustaining a fall. The patient had undergone pulmonary valvuloplasty for pulmonary stenosis at the age of 2 years. Considering the significant cardiac history, the patient was referred to our center for further workup before contemplating any intervention. The patient had stunted growth of hands and feet, while normal developmental milestones were as per age. Physical examination revealed ejection systolic murmur, for which transthoracic echo was performed, and it revealed severe valvular aortic stenosis and moderate pulmonary regurgitation. Subsequently, biochemical enzymes assessment were performed to look for any inborn errors of metabolism, and the evaluation showed significant increased concentration of free uramic acid, suggestive of sialic acid storage disease or ST. A computed tomography scan of the head and neck were performed and that did not reveal any abnormalities. The patient was scheduled for aortic wall replacement, and preoperative anesthesia assessment was suggestive of restricted neck movement with Mallampati class 3. Preoperative routine blood investigations were in the normal range, and on the day of the surgery, after taking the patient inside the OT, after applying ASA standard monitoring, the patient was induced using intravenous glycopyrrolate, glycopyrrolate 0.1 mg, ketamine 25 mg, fentanyl 100 micrograms, midazolam 1 mg, and vecuronium 2 mg. Following difficulties with bag and mask ventilation, intubation was also found to be difficult due to restricted neck extension. The patient was intubated successfully with the help of bougie after 2 attempts. After induction, central venous access through right internal jugular vein and right femoral arterial line was secured for invasive pressure monitoring. Transesophageal echocardiography confirmed the preoperative diagnosis suggesting severe aortic stenosis, and midline sternotomy was performed and cardiopulmonary bypass was instituted after adequate heparinization. The aortic valve was repaired after achieving cardioplegic arrest, and weaning from cardiopulmonary bypass was uneventful. The patient was transferred to the postoperative intensive care unit and extubated after 12 hours of surgery. Any metabolic and electrolyte abnormalities were managed vigilantly. Coming to the discussion, sialic acid storage disease is uncommon, and these are classified into three types, mainly adult onset, severe infantile sialic acid storage disease, and sialuria. These affects 1 in every 528,000 live births globally. The method of heredity is autosomal recessive, and males and females are equally affected. Around 150 cases of SLAS illness have been reported till now, and majority of them are found in Finland and Sweden. Coming to first is sialuria, which is rarest form, and the in this the accumulation is mainly seen in the cytoplasm. And secondly, Sallas disease. This is the adult onset of sialuria, mostly present in Finland. In this, progressive mental and psychomotor retardation is seen, and in this, life expectancy is also reduced to seventh decade in most patients. Coming to the lastly, infantile sialic acid storage disease. This is diagnosed in the newborn period, where there will be visceral involvement, dystosis, and psychomotor retardation, nystagmus, high arched palate, cardiomegaly, hydrops fetalis, and early death. And these lysosomal storage disorders are arguably the most challenging type of IEM to treat perioperatively due to their multiple organ systems involvement by deposits, and macroglossia, adenotonsillar hypertrophy, upper or lower airway constriction, and soft tissue thickening occur due to this buildup of GAGs. Patient may also exhibit atlanto-occipital instability and odontoid hypoplasia. The present case also had difficulty airway, but fortunately no cervical spine abnormality could be identified and the patient could be intubated with help of UG. And these are all potentially involved the cardiovascular system causing cardiomyopathy, valvulopathy, and various conduction abnormalities. And even in the most cases where severity is increased, they may be presenting with pulmonary hypertension and cardiac failure also. Due to the rarity of such cases, little is known about the perioperative treatment of patients with SASD, and it is preferable to follow general recommendations for the perioperative management of patients with inborn errors of metabolism, such as we should anticipate any metabolic acidosis, particularly in the stressed state, and avoid prolonged fasting should be avoided, and glucose-containing drink should be provided, and lingered lactates are better avoided because the liver has less capacity as it deposits might already be present in the liver, and aspiration risk should be anticipated. Seizure should be treated with, and coagulation should be anticipated, and electrolyte abnormalities are properly watched out and monitored and treated accordingly. Invasive monitoring should be instituted, and any muscle involvement better to avoid depolarizing muscular blockers such as succinylcholine, as there may be diffuse atrophy because of deposition of glycosaminoglycans and lipids. Thank you.
Nice case. It is